Hi, there's a global crisis going on at the moment, and as we know, it's building daily. Around the world, people are losing their jobs because of coronavirus or worried that they might be next. And so a lot of people are taking their futures into their own hands and they're trying to set up their own businesses. But as always happens in the face of a crisis like this, the actual economy and especially both the new business owners and their clients aren't really prepared for the massive changes that are happening around them. So there's still a lot of confusion out there and no one actually knows what the business environment is going to look like. So, for my money, the best time to act is right now. So, if you're thinking of starting your own business, 5 minutes ago was a good time to start. But, of course, it's not that simple, is it? You might have been thinking about starting your own business for ages, but you've never actually got around to taking the first steps. And that may be because your head isn't being in the right place. And to be honest with you, getting your head into the right space to launch a business is probably the most critical thing in the whole journey. Because if your heart isn't in it, your head is going to stay away. And if your head isn't in it, your heart is just going to break and your business will never get off the ground. Hi, I'm Steve Ashby. I'm the CEO of Businessmentals. I've been in business for a very, very long time. Now, I've had some great successes and I've also had some embarrassing failures. But overall, it's been a very rewarding and exciting life. And so now I'd like to be able to give back to people like you who are faced with challenges that, I never ever had to face. I had different challenges, but certainly nothing of a global scale like this. So today I'm going to talk about the three top problems that people face when they're thinking hard about setting up their businesses. And every day for the next couple of months, I'll talk about some aspect of setting up your own business, and I'll give you a few tips and advice that I hope you find useful. Okay, so the first of the problems and the top one that people bring up when they're thinking about starting their own business is actually fear. Fear of what if nobody wants what I have to sell? What if I can't find clients? How do I work out what to charge? What happens if I run out of money? The second thing is no commercial experience, and this is what blocks a lot of people. I've never run a business before. I know people who say to me, look, I'm really great at graphics, but I don't know anything about pricing or business models or how to put proposals together, all that sort of stuff. And the third thing that people find is a real block is the fact that they don't actually know what to do and when. I want to do this, but I just don't know where to start, and I don't know where the Google Map app is for setting up a business without taking too many wrong turns. Well, actually, it could be right here. Now, the reason I know this is because every day I have people asking me if there's a way to kind of minimize the risk of setting up a business and guaranteeing that it'll work. You may not know this, but 35% of the people in the US would rather parachute out of a plane than set up a business. That's how scary they see the whole thing is. So let me start by telling a little story about my experience, okay? I was made redundant after 30 years in corporate and management roles, including some very, very large vice president positions. Now, I've worked in hotspots all over the world and I've been involved in big commercial deals, so I really wasn't that worried about going out on my own. How totally naive and wrong I was. Running your own business is completely different to being employed. And the number one problem for me wasn't lack of confidence or fear. But some of the places I've been and the jobs that I've had, you can't afford to be scared. Self-confidence? Hey, I've probably got too much of it. Nope. The biggest problem for me was that I had no idea how to market my skills, how to find clients, how to engage with them, how to put together great proposals and then negotiate a winning deal. I had none of that. Now, negotiating with somebody else's money, which I have done heaps of times, is a world apart from negotiating when you're trying to put food on the table by winning a gig, by getting the right price. So after many failures and false starts and wasting a huge amount of time and effort, I finally learned enough to build a successful business. And now what I do is I teach other people like yourself how to set up their businesses without going through all the pain and disappointment and trauma that I went through. So when you look at these three biggest fears that people have about starting their businesses, the underlying issue for all of them is lack of knowledge. Okay? Lack of knowledge. Knowledge about what to do and when to do it, how to pivot if something doesn't work, how to build a combination of short-term tactical steps and a long-term strategic view, knowledge about the various tools that are out there that are already available that you can use that make great progress instead of you having to think you've got to invent everything from scratch. knowledge about what the best tools are to use in any given situation, knowledge about how to manage risk, and also knowledge about how to manage the inevitable stress of running your own business. Now look, that might sound like a really, really long list and put you off before you even start. That actually might be a good thing. And it might save you from a slow descent into hell, as it were. Because look, here's the thing. Starting a business requires you to be three things. It requires you to be organized, tough, and competent, okay? And if any of these three are missing, then you're probably going to fail. All of them, by the way, are underpinned by knowledge. So when you're organized, you know what to do, and most importantly, you know why you need to do it. And then you put a plan together to achieve it. Not just a collection of half-baked ideas which change every 5 minutes. Now, this used to be one of my biggest weaknesses, but I'm living proof that you can teach an old dog new tricks. Being tough, it means you just keep going when it gets to be bloody hard work, okay? Grim determination and being bloody-minded and stubborn are very important assets when it comes to keeping on pushing along and setting up your own business. Now, tough also means ditching both people and ideas that are holding you back. And a lot of people, especially startup business owners, find that really difficult because they just can't bring themselves to tell Uncle Bob, you don't know what you're talking about. Sorry about that. They all go down with the ship and sink to the bottom of the sea. Now, some of those people might be in your family, they might be your friends, but you can't please all of the people all the time. You have to make some tough decisions. Competent, well, that means that you learn the skills of running a business, okay? And you practice them and you improve them until you can do them automatically and you get the knowledge. Now, competent also means that you know what to focus your energies on and what to outsource to experts, whether they're people or apps or online solutions or old buggers like me who show people like you how to build and run really successful and satisfying businesses. So here's a couple of things that I'm going to just go through, which will help you. For a start, I'm going to send you a free template called How to Set Great Goals. And there's a couple of things to think about when you are setting great goals. The first is that you need to take baby steps, okay? Crawl, walk, run. It's worked for us humans for a couple of millennia now. And it's worked for every successful business owner. Do it, fail, adjust. Do it, succeed. Next step, do it, fail, adjust, succeed. After a while, the failures happen less often and you do it and you adjust to make it even better and then you move more quickly. The second thing is to spend the time working on the right things in the right order, okay? So you don't end up having to go back and fix them because you've moved in a slightly different direction and your original thingy just doesn't fit anymore. It's kind of like, planning a party, getting all the food and the drink and the cool music, and then the night before thinking, oh, I better go and invite some people. Doesn't really work. So the third thing is that you can't do everything at once. You have to set priorities. And I've got a really cool little tool for you on this. It's called Moscow. The big M stands for must do. Little O, the S stands for should do. The C stands for could do, little o again, and the W stands for would like to do, okay? Now, by using Moscow, it helps you focus on the must-dos and, to just make sure that you do get things done. Don't have any more than 5 at a time if you can possibly avoid it. And as you knock them off, move things up through the list, okay? So it's amazing how your perspective actually changes when you know what to do. You still have to decide to do it and commit to it, because you can't start a business in a half-assed way. You have to be whole-assed about it, as they say. So only you can find that in yourself. But what we do is we'll give you the Google map that we talked about earlier. And once you've decided where you want to go, we'll show you the safest, shortest, and most successful way to get there in our starter pack. Okay? So, hey, thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, then please like and share it. And you'll find the link to the wait list for the starter pack below. And I will catch you tomorrow.